Now, how can I go to the feast? You may be asking that question. Okay, let's take a look at this. Deuteronomy 14, verse 22. You shall surely tithe all the increase of your seed that the field brings forth year by year. In other words, you're supposed to set aside a tithe, set aside money, save money for keeping the feast all during the year. And that way, when the feast rolls around, you'll have money in your pocket to keep the feast. Verse 23, and you shall eat before the Lord your God in the place which he shall choose to place his name there. Verse 26, and you shall bestow. Now notice this. Now here we come to instructions about how to keep the feast, what it's all about. You know, I mentioned that God knows how to have a good time. Notice this verse. And you shall bestow that money that you've saved up all year long, for whatever your soul lusts after, for oxen, for sheep. Now, let me stop right there. Oxen and sheep, they were in an agrarian society. This was a plow instrument, if you will. So you might buy you, I don't know, I guess today you can buy you a tractor or whatever. You know, but it says, look, bestow that money for whatever your soul lusts after, for oxen, for sheep, for wine, for strong drink. Okay, you non-alcoholic people, you're just going to have to rip that one out of your Bible, that page. Or for whatever your soul desires, and you shall eat there before the Lord your God, and you shall rejoice, you and your household. Yeah, I'm telling you, listen, we have been cooped up in our glass cathedrals for way too long. And we have been totally unwilling to do it God's way. And we forget that the Bible is an instruction book that tells us how to do it God's way. And you know, and we just won't do it. We just, no, I ain't going to do it. No, I'm going to listen to what my preacher tells me. Oh, it's been done away with. It's been abolished, been nailed to the cross, whatever. Not for us. Well, what is for you? I mean, is there anything for you in the Bible that you might read and actually believe and do? Is there anything? I'm beginning to wonder. These holy days are appointments with God. 7 appointments with God. God knows how to have a good time. And it is so sad that, you know, for most religious people, the idea that I can have a good time with God, never crosses their minds. And that's sad, because God knows how to have a good time. If you've never kept the Feast of Tabernacles, you need to start keeping it today. You need to start planning for it. You need to look into it, see where they're located, see where you'd like to go to, and just take the plunge and keep it. I mean, what have you got to lose? What have you got to lose? And you never know. A real relationship may open up before your eyes as far as in your relationship with God. You may begin to understand the God that you never knew and never have been taught about in church. So keep the feast. God commands you to keep it. They are His appointments. They're His holy day, the feast of Jehovah, the feast of the Lord. So start today to make plans to keep the feast. And that's what's really in your Bible.
Is that really in the Bible? What you think is in the Bible is not.